Hello and welcome to a smerdp video, and today we're looking at Boom Studios Power Rangers issue 17. And this is actually written by Ryan Parrott, so he's not completely gone. And I think him writing Power Rangers, if he doesn't do Mighty Morphin, actually makes a lot of sense, because he worked with these three Rangers in particular when he was doing Go Go. There's a lot more room for him to maneuver in the vast space and time and all that craziness out there, which is great. You got Marco Renner on the illustrators, Water and Sarah are on the colors, and Ed, as always, is on the letters. So we've got Jason. He's searching for three things. He's searching for Dracon, he is searching for Spectrum 2, and he's looking for Morphin Energy Grids, but he is getting nothing at all. Meanwhile, Yale is playing with a little jellyfish. He says, "Good luck with your hunt. I hope it's better than mine." Meanwhile, Trini is collaborating with Billy to get 11 back online, and it would have gone better if they had plugged in the power pack, but they get there eventually. 11 is online. However, it does not go as planned. May I be of assistance? Not the 11 that we have come to know and love. But she also appreciates Billy's input, because she knows that they are looking for the commands. And I always forget which order I should be reading these, whether it's this one first and then Mighty Morphin, because sometimes they cross over slightly. Hopefully not as much now. I'm really looking forward to that. Meanwhile, Archon and Zack have an issue. Some weapons, etc., have gone missing from the weapons room, whatever you want to call it, and it is Morphin Master Lance, if I remember correctly, and they have a suspect. So Zack is going to be Detective Zack. Well, probably not, because Archon already thinks he knows who it is. And, oops, apologies. And there's this dude here. Kelvar Verin. And, so Zack stops him and says, "Look, just return your stuff, and, you know, we can move on. Or we could do the hard way." Meanwhile, Kelvar, sort of teases him. "You've come off your ivory tower, Zack, to play fruit police," because that's what he's stealing that time. He's stealing some fruit. So he throws the fruit and runs off. And he can also play the flute. And that was just a lame joke, because I said flute instead of fruit. So they're pretty much he's chasing him, etc. He said, "I'm not going to hurt you, I just want to talk," etc. And then he uses his weapon to capture him. He says, "I used to have an axe once upon a time, but this is way cool. I can do so much more with this." And capture you. He says, let me go, let me go." He says, "As long as you give everything back that you've stolen, or you can go chill in the vault for a few hundred years. Entirely up to you." Of course, I was thinking at this point, well, Zack, you'll be dead in a few hundred times, so who's going to let this dude out? Do you know what I mean? You're going to leave a message for somebody? I don't know. Maybe there's a rule. They need a jailer that is going to leave forever. So, meanwhile, they're trying to get 11 back to normal, functioning, how he should be. However, there was something preventing the transfer. She says, "Well, it's not me," and Zack and Jason wouldn't do that. In fact, they probably wouldn't even know how to do that. So it probably makes sense. And 11 says, "I'm blocking it. You say that I've been destroyed twice, and I've seen countless innocents lose their lives, as well as planets being destroyed. I didn't want to go through that again." She says, "But we want you back the way that you were. The 11 that we know and love," which I said earlier. He says, "I can still be 11. I can still do my function to assist you without those experiences." And this is perfect sci-fi. You know, how many times has this happened in sci-fi? Something gets reprogrammed, it's completely different, or acts differently, or doesn't remember certain things that makes it for example. Many times that has happened in sci-fi shows. So Why should this be any different? We've now got a different personality from 11. So meanwhile, Jason's still searching for this needle in a haystack, and trying to find their ship, seeing if Draken's morphed, and see if they can find him in particular. However, Yeo interrupts and runs off, etc., which Jason is following the trail of Trums, which leads him to an epiphany. An epiphany, which is great. Meanwhile, Zach is continuing to talk to this little dude, and they talk about how he didn't have anything. He's lost his parents, and you think I'm gonna wait here for the world to be destroyed, even though they try and reassure him that the Imperial rules have been defeated, etc. You know, he says, well, you would like us, you know, Arakan, you would like to destroy me as well. And I'm not sure how old this alien is. I feel like he's a little kid. I could be completely wrong. However, Arakan reminds us saying, I came here, no friends, no family. Because of your people, I was on my own. However, I decided to make Safe Haven my home and create something special, etc. Which is good. So he says, I'm going to try and give you a purpose to rebuild yourself, because we all get lost in our lives, and at some point we have to say, right, how do I get myself to being me or being something new? So Yale has inspired Jason to have this epiphany, etc. Rather than searching for Draken, it is more about the bigger picture, which the Omega Rangers should be thinking about. This is about them finally. I apologize, that lights up a bright. I just noticed that. It's about the bigger picture. It's about supporting planets that potentially don't have the support mechanisms that Earth do with the Power Rangers, for example. This is what the Omega Rangers are designed to do. They've got no guide, so they're on their own now. 11's completely different. They're on their own again. So they are making these grown-up decisions about protecting the universe. How long this will go on, who knows, because at some point Jason becomes a Zeo Ranger and they must ditch this. But for now, they reach out to the world, and you know this is going to open a can of worms, etc. Open up an absolute can of worms. So that we're here to protect you if you cannot protect yourselves. We want you to be free, happy, love, live your lives, etc. And we get an Andros there, which is great, but we also get these creatures here. Now, if you remember Necessarily Evil, if I'm remembering correctly, this is either around the vampire aliens or this is around the Necessarily Evil creatures. I cannot remember. It's one or the other. Their master is gone. Their master is destroyed, believed by the Omega Rangers, who have finally revealed themselves. And that leads us to the new enemy, which is the Vox. So, yeah, I feel like they're the vampires, but I also feel like they look like that dude that they were fighting Necessarily Evil. Either way, I'm not too sure, and I'll be open and honest, I'm not too sure. So many variables in this comics or new enemies, etc. So, you know, who knows. Anyway, I hope you like my video, and if you do, please support my channel by subscribing. I felt like this was a really good issue, and I've gone off a tangent. Great artwork in here, and I'm looking forward to getting back on track with Power Rangers as well as Mighty Morphin. Subscribe to my channel. If you do subscribe, thank you very much. I do appreciate your support. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important. And as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.